Hey everybody, ready for day 2 of Talen in the dungeon. In the last episode, we had a couple of fights. We leveled up to level 2. He's currently sitting at 19 out of 20 hit points. So we're doing pretty good. Unfortunately, we did have to burn our potion in order to stay alive last turn. Other than that, we do have a couple of things that I have to kind of clean up. So I've gone through and updated my character sheet with some of the stuff that I found last episode that I didn't quite update before. So I got the stuff in the meeting room here, the storage area, as well as from the blacksmith. So I have a decent amount of money as well as some good items. In fact, I have what looks like 50 gold worth of stuff that I can sell off when I go back to town. But I am not yet ready to go back to town because there's a lot more on this floor to explore. I made a very large map. According to the rules, the map could be almost half this size in total, but I made this because it's what fit my screen, so we're gonna go with it. We'll see what happens. I might end up making it smaller later. I'm currently in room 8, and I think it's about time, now that I've leveled up, to move forward. So let's move forward by rolling some dice. Let's see, I'm moving west from room 8. That's a good size room, 5x4. This is a normal size room. That's 2-4. 2-4 is a washroom. There are basins set in worktops here and buckets of soapy water. It is damp here. Roll a d6, 1 through 3, a fungal creature emerges. Roll on table L1F. 1, 2, okay. There's a fungal creature, so roll on table L1F. So level 1 fungal, and if I win, I roll on TAT1. Very cool. Okay, so let's figure out what kind of fungal creature I have here. Let's roll a d6. A 5. It's a slimy gorger. I don't think that I've fought a slimy gorger yet. Okay, time for combat to start. Okay, so the slimy gorger has 10 health for 16 XP. So that's a good amount of XP. Cool. 1 shift. It's a sticky glue-like substance, but I need a container for it. Ooh. I have pouches. We'll figure that out later if I need to. It has a gelatinous body on secondary 2s and 6s, so my pommel thump is going to have -2 damage. Holy cow, that's huge. But its maneuvers are a 4-3 sticky suction, d6 -1 damage, plus special attack. You may not use 1 random piece of armor this turn. Oh. A random piece of armor. Well, that's primary 4s. Oh no. I only have 1 piece of armor, which means his sticky suction negates my jerkin. Oh no. Okay, so every time he hits me, it's just gonna peel right through the jerkin. Oh, great. Okay. Well, let's kill this guy quickly. I'm gonna roll to attack. A 4-2. Well, getting up to a 5-2 is easy. But he'd get -2 damage. 4-2. Unfortunately, that's all I can do. So I'm going to be rolling a d6 -1 damage. Okay, 3 damage to start. Okay, now it's his turn to attack. And he rolls a 2-3. With a 2-3, he attacks with a 4-3. So you need 2 shift, but he only has 1. Okay, that's a miss. It is now round 2. I roll a 2-4 with a shift with a secondary down to a 3. I can do a sudden womp. You do a sudden womp, but that's still a d6 +1. Very good. I roll 5 damage. Excellent. Oh, I did the same thing I did last game. 7. This time I deal 5 damage, which means he's down to 2 health. This is going to be over pretty quickly. And it's going to attack with a 2-3. It needs a 4-3, which it can't quite get yet. So we're going to go to round 3. Attack with a 5-6. Ooh, I can't quite do that. I only have 2 shift. I need 4 shift to turn that into a 5-2. Okay, the slimy gorger responds with a 1-3, and it needs 3 shift to get that sticky suction working. So it's now round 4 with 1 shift each. That means I have 3 total shift, and I roll a 1-4. I could get that to a 2-3 with 2 shift, right? Yeah, so that'll give me a sudden whomp on him for a d6 plus 1. Okay, let's do it. This should get him. 2 plus 1 is 3. Excellent. The Slimy Gorger is out of here. Interesting, which means I need sticky glue, which I don't think I have any containers that I've written down here. Let's see, I have a pouch, but you can't keep glue in a pouch. Let's see. Yeah, I think we'd have to pass on the sticky glue-like substance. That is gross. Okay. And I get to roll on TAT1. It's the table one. Looks like there's a table in this room that I can loot some stuff off of. There's a coil of rope. Okay. That is useful. Cool. Okay, I don't think there's anything else for me to do in this room. Oh, I never checked for doors here. So let's... Our washroom has random exits, so let's roll to see what kind of exits we have. We have no exits. This is a dead end. Darn it. Okay, which means I'm going to go down to room 7. Room 7 only has 1 exit, so let's go ahead and roll for the exit from room 7. A 2, 5. Okay, so 2 by 5. Okay, and that's another regular room. So let's roll what kind of room that is. That's a 1-4. 1-4 is a mason's workshop. There's large blocks of stone scatter the space, iron tools, and an old hammer lay around. Awesome. Roll a d6, 1-4, an artisan is here. An artisan is here. Excellent. You must fight them. If you survive, roll on TCT1. This has random doors, so let's see what kind of doors we have. How many doors? We have 3 doors. Mason's Workshop is also unique. Okay, we have 3 doors, and let's roll to see what type they are. 6 would be the highest, which would be reinforced. Let's see if those reinforced doors are locked. 4 through 6 means that metal doors, or that reinforced doors, are not locked. Okay, good. That doesn't really matter, but we have 3 exits. Okay, so now we need to go fight an artisan. They only have 3 health. The artisan gives us extra treasure, though. That's awesome. But it will deflect on secondary 1s for -2 damage. Don't have that. And distract on secondary 6s for -1 damage. Neither of those. So the artisan can't stop us. And they have 1 maneuver, a jab, which looks like it's a 5-4 for a d6 -3 damage. This is not a hard fight. I say that every time, right? I'm also not a very tough adventurer, so maybe that's the right way to say it. Okay, I think it's the round 1 of combat, and let's attack. And I roll a 6-5. Oh, and that's gonna be a miss. I can't do anything that high. Okay, the artisan responds. Rolling a 3-6. No, they only have a shift of 1, and that would require 4. I roll a 6-4, which to get down, I would need to go get 1, 2, 3. It would require 3 shift, which I don't have, so I miss as well. Artisan's turn, and they roll a 4-2. They need to have a 5-4, which requires 3 shifts, so they miss as well. Okay, we're on to round 3. Nobody's hit anybody yet. So far, we're just flourishing. A 3-2. That's the reverse of an exact, but I'll take it. A 3-2. Let's bump that. Let's swap those dice to make it a 2-3, using 2 shift for a d6 +1 damage. And boom, he's dead. Easy enough. That was unfortunate. It took 3 rounds. It gets a little bit scary when that does, but okay. And let's take our XP from that, which is only 5. So on his body, it looks like you roll on PT1 -2 and 2d6 silver. Awesome. Well, I'm going to start by getting that silver. 4 plus 6, I get 10 silver. Nice. I do appreciate some money. And now let's take a look at the treasure. So that's our good old stand by the tea chest table. I rolled a 7. There's a scrunched up cloak. Ah, I found another cloak. Oh no. Cloak with only 5 silver. This is not a very good cloak. Underneath it is a throwing axe. Yes. Very happy to have that throwing axe again. Oh man, that was really clutch last game, and love to have it again. I'm probably going to use it a little bit less freely this time. Okay, we're going to roll 2 dice for the pouch. See what's in the artisan's pockets. There's some Zumaros leaves. Excellent. -2, which means it's Malacca leaves. Okay. I am very happy for that. Okay, now I'm going to go southeast through that exit, and I'm probably going to meet up with room 6. 1-1. Yes, okay, so I rolled doubles, and I've been forgetting this rule, but when I roll doubles, I get to roll again and add it. +3 and 4, so it'll be a 4-5 room. Okay. Well, looks like there's our room. And we already have 2 exits on it. Let's see what room that is. That's a 1-4, which is another Mason's Workshop, but that's unique, so we're going to roll that again. A 3-1, which is a snake pit. Oh no, room 11 is a snake pit. A dusty bowl set into the floor is home to an angry-looking snake. It rises up towards you. To open the chest in the pit, you must face a snake. Roll on L1S. If you survive, roll on C22. Absolutely. Okay, I'm now going to roll to see what kind of doors there are, because I saw that table. It's a 3-3, which is wooden doors. Very good. So let's see if those doors are locked. They are unlocked. And let's see how many there are. That means that there are 2 exits. So one is this one we've seen. The other one we're going to put right here. But now we have to deal with that snake pit. Okay. What kind of snake is it? It's a giant horned anaconda. Oh my. And it has 15 health. Holy cow, but it's worth 30 XP, which I really, really like. Okay, so the very first thing I want to do with this snake, let's take a look at what it does. It has no treasure. It has a scale block on secondary 2, so my pommel thump isn't going to be great. Okay, so that's -2 damage. That makes a big difference. And it has 2 attacks, a 5-3 smother for a d6 -2, plus you miss next round. Ooh, okay. But that's only once per combat, so he can smother me only once. With a 2-3, he can do a horn jab, which is a d6 -2 damage. And my jerkin, unfortunately, doesn't help out with that. Okay, I think it's time to kill a snake. Rolling a 6-4. Oh man, a 6-4 is not going to do it for us. Unfortunately, we miss our first attack. The snake rolls a 1-4. Taking a 1-4 to a 2-3. It only has 1 shift. With another shift, he could have done it, but he can't quite. Let's roll again. A 2-1. I can get a 2-1 to a 2-3, so I add +2, and I can do my sudden womp, which he can't interrupt. Very good, so let's deal first damage of the game. Ah, almost. Okay, that's a 4 damage. Take him down to 11 health. Very good. I'm happy with that. Okay, well, let's see what he does in response. This could be a long fight. A 5-2. 5-3 isn't exact. That's the one that hurts the most. Ouch. Okay, so he's going to smother me for a d6 -2 damage. So he gets me for 2 damage. I'm down to 17 health, but now that it's round 3, I can't do anything this round. So I'm going to miss this round of combat. Okay. Great. Okay, well, that means that he gets to attack again. It's round 3. Luckily, this wasn't a later round where he could get any extra shift. Let's let him attack again. He rolls a 3-5. A 3-5. Nope, he can't hit me with the 3-5. That's fine. Oh, I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Okay, so his extra attack didn't amount to much, but now that we're on round 4, we have an extra shift. So I have a shift of 3. He has a shift of 2, and let's see what happens. I roll a 5-1, which I can easily make to be a 5-2. That's the only one I can do, but his scale blocks on the secondary 2s. So this is going to be a D6 minus 1 damage. Oh, only 1 damage. Okay, its turn. It rolls natural 1s, so that's a mishap for the snake. The snake snacks back at you and tries to bash you with its head, but its head smashes the wall for a D3 damage. Okay, so I'm going to divide this roll by 2 and round up. So that means it takes 2 damage. Very good. Bashing its own head to the wall. Oof. I'm sorry, snake. That's terrible. It is now round 5. We now have 2 shift. So that allows me to hit him pretty hard, or pretty often. Let's see what we can do. 4-4. I rolled 4-4, and I now have 4 shift, which means I can do 5-2. But can I do 2-3? 1-2-3. Yeah, I can do 2-3 for a D6 plus 1. So I'm going to shift that to our sudden womp. For 2 damage. Okay. It now has 3 shifts. Let's see what it can do with its 3 shift. It does a 2-5, a 2-3, with D6 minus 2. Yep, he's going to do a D6 minus 2 damage. Okay, good. He gets a horn jab in there, but it doesn't hurt. The jerkin protects me. Okay, it's now round 6, and our shift has now maxed out at 3. So I now have 5 shift, and he has 4. We should be hitting every round now. 5-6. Well, I have to shift 4 down to get down to a 5-2. Oof. Okay, so I'm doing D6 minus 1 because those scales keep on blocking my attacks. Okay, so 2 damage. Okay, I'm whittling him away very slowly. Meanwhile, the snake rolls a 5-4. Okay, that's not quite exact. The 5-3 is exact. Now, the smother doesn't do the special attack this time, but it does do a D6 minus 2 damage. So let's see what we get. Haha, no damage. Okay, I'm used to it. It's fine. I'm just fighting there like a barbarian with this snake coiled around me as I'm bashing it into the wall, and it's not hurting. Okay, we're now up to round 7, and the special thing when it comes to round 7 is that movement-based interrupts no longer function. Okay, now in this case, I have a jerkin, which is an armor, so it still functions, and it has a scale block, which is armor as well. It's not movement based, so that actually doesn't affect our combat at all. But it's my turn. He only has 2 health left. With a 4-3, I can bump that up to make that a 5-2. Pretty simple. Let's do a D6 plus 1, and even at minus 1 damage. No, what's a D6 minus 1? I take him down to 1 health. He's still alive. There for a moment I thought I couldn't kill him. I thought it was impossible to not kill him. Okay, it's his turn. 1-6. 1-6, and it has 4 shift. 1-2 for horn jab, and 6 down to 3. That's his full 4 shift. He can still do a horn jab. Okay, give it to me. 1 damage, yes. That's the 3rd time this fight that he hasn't been able to hurt me after hitting. Excellent. Okay, it's now round 8. Rolling a 2-4. Okay, that's 1 off my sudden womp. That's fine. I'll take the sudden womp for the guaranteed kill. Let's roll it anyway. 4 damage, and the snake is dead. Giant horned anaconda is gone. Oh my gosh. That was quite the fight. I get 30 XP. So I'm now at 175 XP. Whew. That wasn't bad. I traded basically 2 health for 30 XP. I'll take it. Now, it doesn't have any extra treasure on it, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to go back to the dungeon, and let's see what's on there. So what's interesting is that this is chess table 2, not chess table 1. So this is an upgraded version that you normally found in level 2 more often, probably because it's a little bit more difficult fight. Let's see what we get. 6. Oop. That second 4 doesn't count. 6 and 4, that's a roll of 10 minus 2 is an 8. You open the lid and see a mix of loot items. Among it, you find 2d6 plus 20 silver, a gold ring worth 26 gold coins, and another throwing axe. Yes! Yes! Okay. I'll take it. Let's roll our 2d6. 5 plus 20, 25 gold. Oh, that's 25 silver. Okay, fine. Gold ring worth a d6. 2 gold. Okay, not bad. And the throwing axe. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, I have 2 throwing axes for 6 damage. So that's what gets me out of a tight spot if there's ever any issues. Oh, that feels so good to have those back. Awesome. Awesome. Even more good loot. Okay, so what's next? Did I roll everything I need to roll? Yes, I did. It's time for another room. Mark room number 11. Room number 11 was good. We're going to keep going south on room number 11. See if we can connect up with room 3 down there. It's a 1-5, which means what we have is a long corridor. Let's see what happens next. A 6-6. Okay, so I told you with doubles, the room, I get to roll again, except for on a 6-6. On a 6-6, it doesn't double. Okay, now let's try to put this on here as well as we can. 6 by 6 is 36. Well, let's actually do... Can I do that? So I can't do a full 6 here, but I can kind of modify it to get as close as I can. So that's a 35 right there, but I have that one corridor. So 9 by 4, that's 36, right? There we go. And it joins there, but this is an actual doorway, and this is an actual doorway. And that is a large room. Excellent. This will be my first time in a large room. Let's see what's in it. I got a slate shrine. A large slate monolith stands at the center. Hanging from it is a gold amulet worth 2d6 gold coins. What do we got? Worth 5 gold. Wow. And it has 4 slots. Interesting. If you have 4 gems, you may roll on GCT1. This is unique. What does that mean? Does that mean that instead of taking it, I can put something into it and something happen? Gem combination table 1. Oh, that is super cool. I have no idea what that means, but I tell you what, I'm going back to here if I can. Wow, okay, cool. Well, I think what I need to do is I need to find out what kind of exits there are from this room. Then I need to move on, right? Okay, so let's roll what kind of exits that are on here. I got a 3-3, which is wooden doors. Excellent. Let's see how many doors there are. There are 3 exits from this room. I doubt we're actually going to be able to get any real exits out of here, but we're going to try. In fact, we're going to say 1, 2, and the one up here in the corner to try to do anything. And I'm going to go out this western corner here first. And by the way, I'm leaving the gold amulet there. I'm going to state that here, left behind. There we go. So it's a 2x2 room. Perfect. This is a small room, and that is the absolute exact thing we wanted here. Let's roll on the small rooms table. That's a 4. It's a Gracata mural. Okay. There's a large mural of Grakata here. Her old face smiles at you. If you call for her favor here, you get -2 to the roll. There's no space to make offerings, and it is unique. Okay, we got a Meduva statue earlier, room 1, and this is a Grakata mural. So there's nothing I can do here. There's no point in calling for favor because I have no favors that I need to call. Okay, and let's backtrack to room 12 and go north. It's just a corridor. Very good. Let's go again. Yeah, that'll work, and we'll connect it together right there at the base of it. Let's find out what's in room number 14. 3-2 is a weapon dump. Nice. Some crates and barrels hold a range of broken and busted weapons. You begin to search the space. First roll an IAUT1, then MIT2. So that's a metal item table. I don't know what IAUT1 is. Let's find out. But first, it has wooden doors. It is unique, however. So let's see, it is unique. Let's see how many doors are here. There are no doors. This is a dead end. It's all over here. So let's search the room. Oh no! IAUT is unexpected encounters. Okay, so let's find out what unexpected thing happens in this room. And I rolled a 5-1. You spot a stone in the wall that appears out of place. You take a closer look and find it loose. Behind it is half a cheese wrapped in cloth. Gain 1 ration. There's also little dried meat. Look at that. Ration and dried meat. Wow, I'm so lucky. I guess. We could have had combats, I'm sure. I'm sure there's tons of stuff that could have happened here. Okay, I'll take a ration and some dried meat, and then let's go roll on the metal item table. Ooh, I'm gonna roll a d6. A metal chain. Cool, I'll take a metal chain. What this means, though, is that we're rapidly running out of places to explore, and we're at, I think, around 50% explored for this space. That's pretty good. Okay, let's go back around to room 10. I think that's the last room available on this half of the map, right? Then we have to go back down to 1 and try busting through some doors. I don't have any lockpicks, but I think there's a rule that allows us to get through some doors by waiting for a patrol or something to come by, killing them, and taking a key. But we're gonna go up to 10, and we're going to, in fact, with the way this is built, I think that needs to just be connected right there. We're going to give us only that one opening. So let's go around to room 10 and explore west. We got a 5-1, which means this just is a corridor that goes down. Well, and it's gonna go all the way down to there. Okay, where do we go from there? A 3x3, which is doubles, which means we get to add again. We might get another large room, which would be awesome. 5 and 1, which is an 8x4 room. Awesome. That is a room and a half. Look at that. 4x8. That is a large room. Excellent. Okay. I like the large rooms. They have more exciting stuff in it. In this large room, and we get a 6-3, which is 9. A crate storage. Okay, I was expecting something more exciting than that. That's fine. I'll take a crate storage. There's probably something good in here anyway. This is room number 15, crate storage. This space is used for storage, and crates scatter the space, creating hidden spaces. There's a noise. Okay, I get to roll a d6 to find out what happens inside a crate. I rolled a 5. A vase has fallen out of a crate and smashed. Aww. Around it are some Ilios petals. Okay, I was expecting a big combat here. Ilios petals. Excellent. That means I now have Ilios, I have Malacco, and I have 2 sets of Malacco and some Ilios leaves. That's excellent. Okay, cool. So let's get to the metal item table 2. Okay, that's another roll of a d6. I rolled a 1. It's a twisted piece of plate. Chest table 1 at a -2. So let's roll 2d6 and see what we got. 3 and 1, which is a 4. -2 is 2. You lift the lid and find the box empty apart for some broken stone. Oh. Empty box. Darn. Okay. Well, let's go to BT2 at a -1. So this is a back table 2. Man, you know, I had high hopes for this crate storage room, but we're not getting much. So let's hope that this helps out a little bit. 6 and 4. That's a 10. You peer inside the leather bag and see 3 goblets. Wow. Okay. Worth 6d6 plus 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 11 plus 17, 18, 19, 20. 26 gold. Wow. It's 26. No, it's 26 plus 20, so 46 silver. Okay. A throwing dart. Nice. And a potion. Excellent roll. Okay. Nice. This is all the good stuff was waiting. Okay, I'm actually hoping for a very low roll because I just want potions of healing. I got 4 plus 1 side. Potion of strength. Okay. I'll have to look that up and find out what that does. A throwing dart. Let's find out how much damage the throwing dart does. Throwing darts deal 2 damage. So I'm going to leave that there. I won't cross it off just yet because that's going to be something we add to my sheet later. That's just fine. Okay, it looks like we have to move back over to room number 1 and start and find a way out through here. Okay, so the rule says you can wait for somebody to open a door. You must use a ration, but you gain 2 hit points per adventurer level. That's actually really good because that means that I can heal up to full health and I can burn a ration. Instead of burning a ration, however, I'm going to come over here, and I did see that you can create an improvised ration by sacrificing 3 different ingredients. There's 1 ingredient is dried meat, and the 2 carrots and a beetroot. So by using the 2 carrots and a beetroot, as well as the piece of meat, that's a ration, which means I am now back up to full health. I have waited, and we now have a random encounter. So we have to look up the patrol table. Let's take a look at what kind of patrol comes through here on level 1. It's just a guard. Okay, not bad. We could take out a guard. We've done that before. Let's go back to combat. And it's just a guard. It's round 1. We have no extra shift. We're level 2. We can just smash this guy. Let's do it. I rolled a 5-2, which is an exact pommel thump, which means we're not just dealing just 1d6 plus 1 damage. We're going to deal 1d6 plus 3 damage. He only has 7 health, which means we have a 50-50 shot of one-shotting him. Let's see what we do. Roll a 5 plus 3 is 8 damage. He is dead. I'm just waiting outside the door. I hear him coming. He unlocks and walks through the door and just crunch. He's gone. Knocked him right in the temple with the pommel. Thumped him. He collapses to the ground, and I drag his body off to a dark corner where nobody sees it, making not a sound. Okay. Awesome. Which means I get to roll on pouch table 1. Excellent. Okay, let's figure out what he has in his pockets. That's a 6. D6 silver coins. What do we got? Now we got 2 silver. Okay, you know what? At least they are able to rattle around in his pockets. There's nothing else on him, but that means I get a key, and that means I'm able to unlock the door. We rolled a 3 and a 3. That's good. Those are doubles, which means we might be getting a large room. Oh, a 1 and a 1. Do we do it infinitely? You know what? I'm going to make up the rule that yes, we do. So it's now a 4x4 with a 5-2, which means it's a 9x6 room. Holy cow. This is going to be a chunker. There we go. How about that for room? Oh boy, that's a huge room he just came out of. What was behind there? I just knocked him out without even caring what was on the other side. Hopefully there aren't too many people. Okay, let's see what is in this large room. 3, that's 6. This is a fountain room. Oh, interesting. In the center is an ornate fountain bubbling with clear water. It is dedicated to a god and carved in their form. You make an offering for 1 favor point. It has archways. It's not unique. So let's see how many exits it has. It has 3 exits. Wonderful. Exactly what I want to see. So I mean, there's an exit here, there's an exit here, and there's an exit there. I rolled a 4, which is Muratani. And I can make sacrifices here. So let's look up who Muratani the Pulp is. So Muratani the Pulp has 6 favored items: blood, meat, leather, horn. Dragon scales gives an extra favor, and rubies give you 2 extra. His focus, Muratani, is an animal and sinew, twisted muscle, and the screams of dying of the living beasts. If you roll below 1 when calling for their favor, they will give you a gift. Okay. Blood, meat, leather, horn, dragon scales, and ruby. I don't think I have any blood, meat, leather, or horn. Yep, I think I'm going to walk away from this without giving him anything. I don't have anything to sacrifice to Muratani. Okay. Crazy, crazy stuff. I'm about ready to go back to the surface. I am not out of health or anything. In fact, I'm at perfect health. Everything's fine, but I have a lot of gear. And I'm wondering if I can upgrade my armor by selling off some of my stuff. And so let's go ahead and go to the surface. Now, the way you go to the surface, from what I understand, is I have to find an escape route. So I'm going to search this room, and you see I have 6 tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are along the wall, which means I get to roll 6d6. And if I roll a 6 on any of those, I have found the passage out. And I've already rolled a 6. I've rolled 2 6s. Okay, I have found the way out. So let's go ahead and mark the way out here. Okay, and I'm going to return to the surface. And I've never returned back to town before. You can only return to town once per level of the dungeon, but that allows you to sell all your items. It allows you to buy potions. It allows you to buy more armor, even a weapon, I believe. So let's actually do that right now. Yeah. If you leave and return, you can heal up to full health, sell your loot, and buy items that help you on your next adventure. You also can remove soaked and bloodied status. When you're done in town, you can leave the rest of your loot in a secure location and head back stronger and more capable. It's up to you what you bring back to the dungeon, but you cannot acquire any items other than the ones at the market. Okay, so let's go to the market. Okay, I have combined everything onto my character sheet with my potion over. I have quite the list of items here. Now the rules say that small items, you can have as many as you want within reason, and so I think I can carry all this, but you only have 10 large and heavy items. Okay, to see how effective your bartering skills are, roll 2d6, add my adventure level, deduct your precision, then consult the bartering table on the following page. So I'm going to roll 2d6. I rolled a 4. I add my adventure level, which is 2, so that's 6. Deduct my precision level, which is 0. So I rolled a 6. And that means you lost about 10% of the sell price rounded up. That's just fine. Okay, so I'm going to quickly sell a bunch of stuff, and then we'll see how much I have left afterwards. Okay, I have finally sold everything I think I'm going to sell. I'm going to keep a couple of these items because I know they could be sacrificed to gods for various reasons. I also kept my Malacco leaves, my Scarlet Oriavatus, and the Ilios petals. I'm going to check to see what I can do with those, because I think I can make some potions and stuff. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to see if I can spend some of my money and get some better armor. So specifically, I have 54 gold. Now, I think I could jump all the way up and get some really good armor. But I think what I'd like to do is get some armor that is just an improvement. So the jerkin is a leather chest plate, so I could just add any additional armor I want, as long as that's not for the same slot. So I couldn't get a padded tunic or a quilted coat. I couldn't get a doublet. I could get a bishop's mantle, which blocks on primary 4s and 5s. I'm already blocking on primary 4s, so that really wouldn't be helpful. A long leather jacket, leather breastplate, leather bracers. Leather bracers block on primary 6s and 1s. That's nice. That's only 25 gold, so that's about half my gold. But what I'd really love to do is stretch all the way down to the shields, because there's a wooden shield there that blocks for 2 damage. So that's 42 gold. That's most of my gold, which is, ooh, it's quite a bit. I mean, it's not like it's full plate or anything, right? But I think that would be really nice to have for 54, you know, at 54 gold, that's a good use for it. I could also go for a mail coif, which would block on as primary 6s and 4s. Metal bracers, 3s. Oh, I'm reading this table wrong. Primary 3s and primary and secondary 3s for metal bracers. That would be really nice for 2 damage. That's 55 gold. Ah, that's just too much. That's just too much. I can't quite stretch to there. So I think I'm going to go for a mail coif for 50 gold. So that's going to take me down to 4 gold. And I have an armor piece for 4s, primary and secondary. Excellent. That's a -2 modifier. That's really helpful. That's going to make a big difference in how long I survive. Now, I understand I'm putting myself low on gold. I'm going to check now what it takes to make potions. Okay, so let's take a look at these herbs now. So Moloko leaves, so they can be sold for 4 gold each. But chewed Moloko, which only gives me 1 health, but healing balm, it's 1 of 2 ingredients. So what I'm hoping is that the Ilios petals are the other one, and yes, they are. So I can make 1 dose of healing balm. So I'm going to get rid of this, the second there and there. I'm going to add a healing balm. I'm going to put that under the potions. Excellent. Okay, my healing balm heals 10 health and once per room. I don't have my healing potion, but I have a healing balm. Okay, so a potion of strength gives +1 damage per hit for 1 whole combat. Okay, that's cool. It costs 15 gold to buy, so it's one of the cheaper potions, but it does mean that if I get into a tight spot, I can use the potion of strength. If I'm fighting 2 difficult combatants, I can use that. Okay. Well, very good. I'm really excited with the progress I made today, and I am excited to get back to the dungeon. There's not a whole lot left of this level, and I want to get down to level 2, get to some more difficult enemies, test out my brand new armor. The mail coif will definitely help quite a bit in reducing that amount of damage taken. I'm feeling like a nice big heavy tank. I've always played tanks, you know, always the guy with the big sword and board and all the armor. So I'm excited to get Talen up to that level, and we're gonna go from there. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know when I broke the rules. I'm sure I broke them several times. In fact, while I was reading, I noticed that there was a rule about corridors that I've been missing this whole time. So we'll try that next time. I'm having a load of fun with 2d6 dungeon. Please make any comments, help me get better, and let me know if you're also playing. I've been watching some other people who are playing here on YouTube, and it's a lot of fun to watch and comment on their characters and their progress. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.